Hey everyone, welcome back. So, Early Access Point 6 is finally out for Big Ambitions, and it's time for us to check out how good factories can be for us. Now, we're going to start from our old Liquor Madness save, so we have a good jumping off point. We're going to see whether or not these factories can at least boost our profits while reducing our reliance on the importers. Anyway, let's have some fun with this, and let's get started. All right, so where did we leave off last time? Well, I'm not going to recap the last playthrough. If you really want to see that, you can watch it. It's actually a pretty fun playthrough, at least in my opinion. But at least let me show you what we got going on. So we have obviously a bunch of liquor stores, as we all remember. And I had a smattering of other things mixed in. Now you'll notice that I have still quite a few places that are currently just closed. In fact, all these places should be closed for the most part in terms of, like the web development agencies and the bookstores and whatnot. I still need to fix their logistics from last time. I don't have that all set up. I'm not gonna really worry about that right now. It's dead weight, but it's really minimal dead weight. I could honestly just get rid of them, doesn't matter. Anyway, so we're looking at basically a bunch of liquor stores that are good to go. We have some fast food restaurants. We have some other like coffee shops and florists, etc. But primarily we have liquor stores. Now what we're gonna focus on for our factories is obviously going to be liquor stores because they're our largest consumer of goods, of a particular type of goods at least. Now, the big thing is this playthrough wasn't raking in the money, so to speak, especially towards the latter end of the playthrough because I had kind of just let things go on many of the other businesses. And we basically were looking at needing to fix almost every single non-liquor business, logistics and everything. I had a bunch of things in my mind at the time, but for now I'm just going to try to focus on getting factories going just so we can start jumping into that, because I really want to see how well it does. Now this whole playthrough is probably not going to be terribly long. I'm not going to try to focus on building up a bunch of businesses. Essentially, this is now just going to be focusing on seeing what factories can do for me and how I can manage around them. Now, I do have a bunch of factories available to me in this playthrough, thankfully, and I believe I've rented out the vast majority of the large ones. So, for instance, this one here, there's no drivers, there's nothing, the inventory is non-existent. It's just a straight up rented out warehouse. Now, what we're going to do is shut this guy down and start a new business here, and now make it a factory. We have one competitor in our neighborhood already, which is interesting. But we're going to call this our Liquor Madness Production. LM Products LLC. Liquor Madness Products LLC. So we're going to start this factory business. Now, let's take a look and try to find there it is, Factory Supply Depot. We're going to set that as our destination and head there. In fact, I think actually, let's just take the taxi. Boom. Now, what we're going to do first is talk to the manager, this person here, and just create that relationship. Now we have them as a contact and we can just talk to them later. We're going to actually do this through here. I know we could have just done it there, but I don't know. I'm just going to do it here. We are currently occupied. Okay. Well, we'll just talk to you then right now. I don't know. All right. So we're going to consider that for Thursday. Well, now we have $555,000 to play with. There's another million sitting in there as well, but we're just going to see how much this is going to cost us. Now, as before, and we saw in my preview video, all these machines cost quite a bit. So on the onset, we're going to be spending a hell of a lot more money than we're going to be making back. Now, it'll slowly creep over time into being, a positive net gain, but it's not going to creep that way for a while, especially from what we saw with how the machines work with the burgers. I'm not very confident still whether or not this is going to be worthwhile. And this might be honestly just a straight up money sink. Anyway, let's look and see here. Actually, let's look at the F1 menu first. And let's go to factory recipes. Now, we want to make all the type of liquor that it'll let us. So wine, whiskey, martinis, margaritas, and honestly, probably soda as well. Throw that in there and maybe leave it at just basically the liquids and, you know, buy cigars and basically whatever else we need, we'll just buy from the importer still. So let's first look at the wine recipe. So we need grapes, sugar, and yeast as our raw ingredients. And then we need a bottling machine, a blending machine, and input and output stations. So we create fermented wine and then we create wine at the bottling machine. Very simple, not too intense. So I'm just going to snip this real quick so I can see it while I have the other things closed. Perfect. Let's move that over into my next screen and close that. So we need a bottling machine. And there's one. We need a blending machine, an industrial blending machine, I should say. Okay. And an input and output station for each. So at its base, when we don't have any pallet shelves or anything in there too, so I'm not going to count the cost of pallet shelves and the storage shelves right now. I'm not going to count that as the cost of starting this process up, simply because it's a warehouse, so you can throw pallets in there anyway. So I don't know. Anyway, just to start with one production line is $270,250. Now let's just throw in these pallet shelves here real quick. We're going to just have 8. And maybe, let's actually make this 2. We're going to start with 2 because I know it's not going to be pumping out goods. I know that much for sure. All right, so overall, we're spending $275,250. Very easy. We'll order that for tomorrow. We'll have that come in, and let's meet back up then and get those, you know, machines laid out. All right, so we have our stuff delivered. We have a bottling machine, like I said, a blending machine, 2 input stations, 2 output stations, and 2 pallet shelves. So first, let's put these pallet shelves out. We want to get them as close as we can to where we're going to start producing, which I'm going to set everything up over here. There's one there. So it looks like the input and the output are right next to each other. Am I seeing that correctly? I am. Okay. That's cool. So we'll put the input station in here. Let's move that up just slightly. All right, hold on here. Let's get that fixed. I don't know why I'm doing it that way. There we go. All right. So we'll move this up to there. And this will go like that. Perfect. Apply that. And then what's the blending machine look like? Okay, so the blending machine is quite involved, it looks like. And I just realized I'm dumb. I forgot to get conveyor belts. So the cost of entry is even higher than what I was saying. But that's okay. Let's set that there. Actually, no, let's put it right here. So we're going to need more input stations as well. Because we need one more input station because we need sugar, yeast, and grapes. Oh, I know. Yeah, never mind. Yep. That's all right. All right, so I'm not going to use that second output station now I think about it. Which, again, that's all right. That's okay. You live and you learn. You mostly learn because you're living. Anyway, so basically in my mind, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to grab another input station because we need one. But we're going to input this one with yeast. We're going to input this guy with grapes. And we're going to do a bottle of wine there. Which again, I believe we only need... Let's see. Grape fermented wine. I'm dumb. There we go. I had it backwards. So this guy goes there. I'm silly. So we might be good. All right. So he's going to make fermented wine. So rather, he's going to make fermented wine. He needs grapes, sugar, and yeast. And then this guy's going to make that bottle of wine from taking the fermented wine in. There we go. By the way, guys, I've done no exploring since I last recorded a video for you guys. So obviously I'm not 100% sure how every single machine works and whatnot. We're learning together. I think that's a little bit more fun anyway. But we have 2 input stations now. And then we'll need to set up another one up there. So now it makes me think it might make more sense to do something like this. And maybe pack this guy up, set him there. So what I'm trying to do here is basically get the input stations as close to their input shelf as possible, so they're not walking a long distance. Now, I'm not sure, again, I still haven't checked to see, but I'm not sure whether or not what we see visually, just like in this, you know, our stores and our restaurants, is the visual representation the accurate representation of your actual amounts. Now, I imagine, yes, in this case, it is now the accurate representation. Anyway, I'm going to get some conveyor belts and another input station, and I will meet you guys back here. All right, folks, our goods have arrived. So just so you can see, I ordered 10 conveyor belts and an input station. It was a little over 75,000, I think is what it was. Extra, which is not horrible. I also got a sofa and water cooler, coffee machine, fridge. I'm in anticipation of the factory workers demanding kind of like a rest area, or, you know, break room. I mean, there is no rooms here, but anyway, let's grab some conveyor belts and get this situated here. So what I'm going to try to do is hopefully, let's see, can I do it this way? I'm going to put that there. I'm just concerned about, okay, cool. Perfect. All right. And then we need another input station. And that works. Awesome. All right. So let's go to interior designer. Can I actually? No, I can't. Okay. That's okay. So I have to walk all the way over. So I got yeast, grapes, and this one will be sugar. All right, so yeast, grapes, and sugar go into our industrial blending machine, which creates fermented wine. And then that fermented wine goes into our bottling machine and then creates a bottle of wine. Now I'm wondering, since I have these extra conveyor belts, should I have like a conveyor that leads to the bottling machine so that I don't have this machine just waiting? I think that's actually a good idea. Let's just move this down slightly and let's add some conveyor belts, and we should probably add a second. Well, maybe we don't need to add any extra pallet shelves. I think that should be okay. All right, let's get this guy over here. You know, I am honestly pretty excited to, you know, get this factory stuff going. Now, in my mind, I'm wondering, am I going to need to actually like have many machines in one factory. I think I touched on this in my preview video. I'm really only honestly worried about having all these extra machines in such a small space. Now, granted, they are going to be having dedicated factory buildings coming out here in a little bit, I'm sure. So, hey, I'll take that for sure once those come out. For now, let's get the rest of this stuff out just so we can actually just honestly rest and pass some time to get some factory workers in. Throw them on here. Get the water cooler as well. Perfect. Everybody should be happy with this. I'm going to fast forward time and get some candidates here so that we can staff up the factory itself, and then I also need to go meet the new businesses. So actually, let's head over there first and get the new importers going. All right, folks, so we've made it to our first stop here, the Aquatic Bay Cargo. So this is one of the new importers. We're just gonna get a relationship going here. Perfect. So they, oops, wrong button there. They sell basically the first bits that we need. So yeast, grapes, and that looks to be it on this one. So the next guy that we'll be visiting here, Maritime Freight Line, they have basically your manufacturing goods for like phones, electronics, look at that, gems, so you know, jewelry, probably headphones, etc., you know, stuff like that. And then the next place is going to be Lunar Tide Shipments, and they have pretty much everything else, so food related at least, which is going to be nice. But we will head on over to the next place. We're just going to run together here. I'm going to stop running in the wall. So there's Maritime Freight Line. We don't really need Maritime Freight Line as a partnership right now. I'm still going to set it up, and there's no reason not to. But we don't really need them at the moment. So next and last, Lunar Tide Shipments. I really like this area. They really did a good job with this import area here. Adding it on, etc. Very nice. All right. Last guy here, or lady, I should say, Mary Bishop. Perfect. So we're good there. So now let's talk to, where are we? Aquatic Bay. So we're going to have this set to auto restock every 1 day. But what we need, so we need at least $2,500 worth of product. Oof. Wow, look at that. Okay. I'm a little worried. Can we see? No, it doesn't tell us. All right, we'll see if this will even work out. So we need like what, 150,000? Okay. I don't know how that's supposed to work. That is egregiously cheap. It's 1 cent. 1 cent. That is just crazy. All right, what's the other thing we need? Grapes, right? 6 cents. So 15,000 gives us. Okay, that's good. Let's do 25,000. $35,000. I think I'm gonna struggle getting this going. Let's see, 39,000. I'm not sure what to do about this. Hopefully this is gonna be enough. I really hope this is gonna be enough. Oof. Oh. This needs to go to LM Products, order that. Then finally, Maritime Freight, no, Lunar Tide. Wow, 10,000 minimum order. How is this supposed to work? it doesn't. All right. Well, that's not good. Okay. See, this is how we learn. We have to learn through failure. So I'm going to cancel this order. There's no reason to try to do this right now, because I believe there is another. Actually, let's show that here. There's another wholesaler. Hudson Wholesale. What do you sell? Nope, that's the book person. I know there's another one. Total produce. Nope, just produce. Can't be New York Distro, is it? No. I swear there was another one. Maybe I'm wrong. I could very well be just quite wrong. If that's the case, this is going to make this insanely difficult. Yeah. Let's look it up. Wholesale. Yep. No, there's no extra one, so okay. Let's see how we can finagle this. I mean, honestly, I really don't know how I'm supposed to get $10,000 worth of sugar. Let's use a calculator here. So what's 10,000 divided by 0.03? You're telling me I need to have essentially 340,000 sugar. And it's still not even enough. Oops. I shouldn't need to, like, this seems really kind of messed up. I don't know how I'm supposed to get 350,000 sugar. Whatever. We're going to order it. We're going to order it and see what happens. This is absolutely nutty. We're just going to sit at the bench and see. I don't see any reason not to. All right, folks. So as you can tell, I did a little bit of updating within the factory itself. I added some of the new lights. I got rid of the old ones since they were not working correctly within the factory itself. But I think this actually looks honestly pretty nice. Now, I do have every product here. Let's go actually to the factory right here. If I go to the inventory, you could tell I have 50,000 grapes, 30,000 yeast, and 18,000 sugar. I have a lot of the products that we needed, and it's not even scratching the surface of what I ordered, which is funny. But thankfully, I have everything we need. We have plenty of it. So now we just need to get some factory workers in. So let's go to our candidates here. Go to the primary skill schedule. Perfect. Got plenty of delivery drivers. Don't really need them at the moment. I mean, we will need them because we have to move this product over, but that's okay for now. Did I miss them? Oh, there they are. Okay. So we'll just go to the 100%ers. I don't really care about the cost, you know, per hour. I don't right now. It's not a huge factor for me. Plus, it's easier if I stick with the static $31 anyway. So we need, I think, what is that? 3 inputs and an output for our factory here. So we will hire them. We will get them assigned. I don't believe they need uniforms in this case. Now let's go to LM. Oh, duh. I'm looking in the wrong spot. All right, so I know it says 24 hours here. And I'm now just realizing that I probably should. Yeah. All right. That's what I'm going to do. That's okay. So I need, what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 12. So I need 8 more factory workers. All right, so we have everyone hired in. We're going to only be open Monday through Saturday, give them a day off at least. So they work 48 hours a week. And everyone, aside from the health insurance, is pretty much covered. So fridge, coffee maker, water cooler, that's generally what they're going to need. They have no massive requests, which is nice. I have the Xanaman computer. I accidentally bought a Xanaman computer, not the gaming computer, because I'm an idiot. But figured I gave their break room some cool stuff there, but I guess not with the Xanaman. Can't play games with it. But everything's set there, so let's get them into the HR person here. Perfect. They'll get happier over time. Now, what we need to do is open up our business here. Open. So the bottle of wine is not running yet. And now it is. Oh, hey, look. It's my brother. Hello, brother. Fancy seeing you here. Is he like a clone? Oh, no. He's a fat clone. All right, guys. Are you going to grab your products or what? There we go. There's one person. There's the next person. What exactly are they doing? Why is it so slow? All right, things are inputting, things are processing. We're finally starting to see the fruit of our industrial labor. Oh, their industrial labor, not mine. I'm just watching. But as you can see, the wine is coming in, going into the machine, and out comes our bottle. Not too bad. So what does that look like for our business overall? So we make 59 products per hour with a production timer of 1 minute, which is really good. Look at that time before things run out. It's so insane. So crazy. Anyway, this is not too bad. However, we get about, let's see. Oops, purchasing agent here. I think it's Jet Cargo. Nope, Bluestone. Nope. United Ocean. There we go. Bottle of wine. We get 22,000 day. Okay. Now, granted, we have what? 20,000 remaining, so we're not really pushing out that much, it looks like. Maybe we are, and I'm just not noticing it. Let's see. Liquor imports. So I'm moving. Bottle of wine. Bottle of wine. There we go. So 6,000 on this one. Oops. And on number 2, $10,000. So 16,000 per day at least. So if I'm making 59, I'm just going to say 59. I'm going to round down. 59 products an hour. I need 271 machines just to replace our daily requirement of wine. This is where I'm kind of confused on what the direction of this update is. So it's a money sink. It's obviously a money sink, but it doesn't really, like, this would serve one business essentially. Like, if I were to fill this warehouse with machines, it would serve one business and probably not even enough. Does anyone see where I'm coming from on this? Like, it doesn't seem like it makes sense, but we're gonna keep going with it. We're gonna see what we can do. I'm sure, I mean, these people are at 100%, so maybe I'm missing something. I really don't know, but we're making 59 products an hour. So I guess that was 271 machines. Okay, hold on. Let's back up here. So 16,000 is what we have per day. So I know you can't really see this. So I'm gonna let you watch the machine. Oops. Let you watch the machine while I do this. So if we're making 59 products an hour, we're open 24 hours a day. That's 1,416 per day. So 16,000, excuse me, divided by 1,416. We need 11. So 12 machines essentially. So that's a lot more reasonable. I was grossly misrepresenting those numbers. Apologies. So 1,416 per day per machine. And if we had 11 of those machines, we would be able to basically do everything we need. So, with that being said, how can I better get this situated? I mean, really, roughly speaking, we could reduce the length of this. I mean, I kind of like having this length. It seems to make sense, but I'm not 100% sure if it's the best method or not. Because, I mean, if I have it just, you know, pushed together here, will this be just as sufficient? It seems like nothing's waiting, so... Well, it's occupied. That's good. There we go. Okay. So we're going to do that. We're going to let this thing do its thing. Just moving things out of the way here. Actually, you know, I better move these completely out of the way. You're just going to see all this in real time. Perfect. So when I do that, can't pick up object that's occupied. Well, that's not good. Okay. Whatever. We're just going to go back to this for now. It's okay, but I mean, I think it would actually work with it right there now that I'm looking at it. So it would reduce the footprint of this machine considerably. You know, I could... Let's see, what do we have here? Pallet shells. Okay. So let's see, it's 6 a.m. Let's just give ourselves... Let's rest a little bit here. Cool, now it's 10. Let's talk to factory supply. So we're sitting on 2.1 million currently. We're gonna do that. Go there. Okay, so we need a blending machine. We're gonna buy 3. So we're gonna need 9 input stations. We're gonna need 3 output stations. And we're gonna need 3 bottling machines. And we're just gonna get a smattering conveyor belts. Let's just do 20. Let's call it that. And how much is that? $900,000. Okay. Okay. Order. This machine is actually really loud, isn't it? It's like cranking out the products. All right, guys, let's fast forward here and get these machines in and set up, and let's see what it looks like, essentially. All right, folks, so as you can see, everything is all set up. I had to order many more things here. In fact, I had to go through quite a bit of iteration on trying to fit everything. And right now, this seems to be the best method. In fact, these are all individualized production lines here in this case. They're not sharing products or anything. I tried to actually make like a sharing line for all the products at once, and that didn't work out. The space it's not conducive right now to trying to set that up. You know, and the other thing too is the fact that there's no way for me to like go over a line, at least not that I'm aware of. I haven't attempted it either, but I don't remember there being a way before either. But there needs to be a way for me to go over the conveyor belt lines so that I can, you know, combine things into a more streamlined production line. But whatever, as it stands right now though, this is still pretty good. I mean, we got 4 production lines going, making wine. They're making all, you know, 59.5, I think is what it was. Yeah, 59.5 products per hour. So with all that being said, it should be around 5,712 per day for this production line, which is pretty decent, to be honest. I mean, we're almost making a bottle of wine per minute, and it really puts it into a better perspective now for me on how this should be done. I'm imagining probably in the future when they add factory specific buildings instead of just, you know, using a warehouse, these 2 slots would be, you know, someplace else perhaps, and maybe in an area where it's not extra space to build machines in, it's just for the vehicles to park in and, you know, for deliveries and whatnot. But by then, I mean, all this extra space, you could very easily fit this footprint, at least for these guys, this footprint, you could fit at least 12 of these individualized production lines. And maybe, I don't know, maybe in the future they'll add different ways to, you know, go over the conveyor belts and whatnot, so you can build an even more streamlined method, and then make this even more productive. But as it stands, I mean, all I need is a couple more warehouses, really. If I can fit 4 in a large warehouse like this, I should be able to, you know, do much more with wine bottles, to be honest. So maybe I can get that 16,000 and at least cover wine to start with, and then go from there. But you know, I'm really thinking there's got to be a better layout even in existence right now, which of course I can't see what this looks like in here, but that one's being used anyway. Let's see if I can find warehouses to rent. So, okay, for instance, this guy here, what does it look like? See, now here, it still would be, you know, it'd still be kind of janky, but I mean, this one actually would be perfect. I'm gonna rent this building. Oh, can I buy it? It's worth 5 million. Not yet, unfortunately, but you get the idea. Like with a larger space, like this one, well, they let me see. Oh, like this one right here, perfect. This nice wide open space right here is what I'm looking for. And you know, it's still covering this space here with the car or the vehicle slots, but this is so much better to use. So there we go. Let's rent this one. And let's call this just whatever. LM Liquor. Let's swap products. There we go. Boom. But for now, we're going to leave that to the next video. So just so you guys can see it again, we have our production line. We have our input station with yeast, then grapes, and then sugar, and then our output to the bottling machine, which seems to be quite sufficient, right out to the output station. And then they are putting their products here on the shelves, or the pallet shelves, I should say. 25 bottles of wine per box, but not too bad. Pretty straightforward setup, pretty easy to do, and just need more space. We could have 8, but yeah, we'll leave that to the next video, guys. Thanks again for watching, of course, and as always, go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think so far, and yeah, hopefully we can move forward and get a lot more going here, and maybe replace all of our liquor production potentially. But until that time, guys, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.